Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. With their 3 chief ministers in tow, MPs, MLAs, general secretaries, disqualified MP Rahul Gandhi turned up at the Sessions Court in Surat today to finally appeal against his conviction in the Modi surname defamation case. Rahul Gandhi has sought an interim stay on the conviction, which would also restore his Lok Sabha membership. Surat Court has extended his bail until April 13 and the hearing in the case challenging Rahul's conviction will now come up on May 3. So that's going to be D-Day, at least the first one that approaches the former Congress president. After 2 weeks of delay, which prompted a lot of questions as to why the Congress is not being quick to act in this legal matter, finally the appeal has happened. Now, this was also an occasion to muscle flex for the Congress, with senior leaders, as I mentioned, in attendance. Party workers, for example, seen outside holding placards at the Surat court, protesting Rahul's disqualification. Overall, though, the question that persists is, will any of this help the Congress ahead of 2024 elections? And is it now certain that the party will indeed continue to push Rahul as a challenger to Narendra Modi? That narrative, mind you, helps the BJP. That's what experience tells us. Also keeps other like-minded parties away from the Congress fold because they're ambitious too. So it can be a risky strategy. Will Rahul Gandhi be Modi challenger for 2024? That's the big question we'll take to our guests in just a bit. Now, Rahul Gandhi's appeal challenging his conviction was accompanied by 2 applications. The first being an application for suspension of sentence, which is essentially an application for regular bail, and the second being an application for suspension of conviction. Now, if the second application is successful, as we'll know from May 3 onwards, that is, his conviction is suspended, eventually completely revoked, then his membership of the Lok Sabha can also be restored, even in the interim. As I mentioned, it was a day of Congress party showing support to Rahul Gandhi, thankfully with no untoward incidents this time, something we witnessed a few times in the past when the Gandhis are involved. Many top leaders of the party, including its chief ministers, accompanied the former Congress president to Surat. These included the likes of Ashok Gehlot, Sukhwinder Sukhu, Bhupesh Baghel. Rahul was also prominently flanked by his sister Priyanka in Surat. Posting a picture of his from today's court appearance, Rahul Gandhi once again hit out at Narendra Modi-led central government. He tweeted, and I quote, "Against Mitrakal, this is a fight to save democracy. In this struggle, truth is my weapon." This is paraphrasing because he tweeted in Hindi, but once again, this is an attack directly on the Adani issue, on Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Speaking of whom, the Prime Minister continued his stance against corruption, giving another strong message to political opponents today who've accused his government of using central agencies against them. So while addressing the Diamond Jubilee celebrations of the CBI, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in a clear message to the probe agencies, said no matter how powerful the corrupts are, action should be taken against them. Listen in.
आपको कहीं पर भी हिचकने, कहीं रुकने की जरूरत नहीं है। जिनके खिलाफ एक्शन ले रहे हैं वो बहुत ताकतवर लोग, बरसों बरस तक उन्होंने भी एक इकोसिस्टम बनाया है। ये लोग आपका ध्यान भटकाते रहेंगे, लेकिन आपको अपने काम पर फोकस रखना है। कोई भी भ्रष्टाचारी बचना नहीं चाहिए।
Now, the case against Rahul Gandhi is, of course, not of corruption. This is the defamation case. But there are issues relating to corruption that Rahul Gandhi, the opposition at large, and the BJP have been talking about. So, the big question we're asking today, will Rahul Gandhi be the challenger in 2024 to Narendra Modi? Today, he challenges his conviction that has disqualified him as a parliamentarian. That coming up next.
faith and confidence in the judicial processes, and we'll respect whatever is decided by the Honorable Court.
कोई अपील में जा सकता है, आपको यह अधिकार निचली अदालत ने दिया था। और अपील करने के प्रक्रिया में एक ही वकील काफी होता है या आपके एक बैटरी ऑफ वकील जाकर अपील कर सकते हैं?
Let's go across to the guests joining us. Tohin Sinha from the BJP, Advocate Mahima Singh of the Congress Party, Ajay Umat, Group Editor, Nav Gujarat Samay, and Alak Alok Srivastav is advocate on record at the Supreme Court. Let me just quickly first handle the legal issue here. Alak Alok, I want to understand from you very quickly. As far as such defamation cases go, criminal defamation in which Rahul Gandhi has been convicted for 2 years, how easy or difficult is it to get not just a stay on conviction, but to completely reverse the conviction?
It's not going to be an easy task for Mr. Rahul Gandhi. It's a detailed judgment which has been passed by the learned trial court in this case. As far as I understand, a lot of reasonings and citations have been assigned by the learned trial court. So it won't be an easy task. In defamation, as you see, it is definitely, if a case is proved in the court of law by adducing sufficient evidences and by examining witnesses, etc., and a conviction is made out, then it is not very easy for the appellate court to just like that reverse the conviction and acquit the person.
Okay.
So it is not going to be an easy task for Mr. Rahul Gandhi in this case.
Okay. Very quickly, I want to understand from Mahima also. Mahima, the BJP today came out taking a dig at this huge contingent of the Congress party that went to Surat. Once again, calling it a drama. We've seen something like this play out in the National Herald case, but possibly not. That was much larger. This is not to that level. Even in some of the ED appearances as all, you know that things went out of hand. The question I want to ask you is, why is there a need for the Congress to convert this into some sort of a show of strength? We all know you stand by Rahul Gandhi regardless.
Good evening all. तीरगी की अपनी जिद है, जुगनुओं की अपनी जिद, रोशनी की अपनी जिद है, जुगनुओं की अपनी जिद. ये प्रबुद्ध सौरभ ने कहा है. And let me just say that you're asking me what is the need for the Congress to create, such a scene, you are calling it.
No, I said show of strength, but the BJP is definitely calling it some sort of a drama.
Let me say that our Honorable President, Mr. Kharge, has actually, made a point in saying that this is solidarity, that the Congress family, that the supporters of Mr. Rahul Gandhi are coming out to show. Because, you see, the point of the matter today is that what is the need for the BJP to create such a brouhaha around the entire matter, to evade from the accountability in the Adani scam, just to evade the accountability and answerability, and so that they will not have to make a point in the parliament regarding that, the questions that our leader, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, has raised in the parliament. The BJP is, touching lowest of the lows.
Okay.
Because
I'm not quite going on. One second, Mahima, I'm not quite touching that issue just yet. I think we've heard these arguments from the Congress party. This is a court order, and let's just respect it for what it is. This has no connection with the Adani case, and you're free to, of course, go on as far as the Adani case is concerned. But let's not really equate them when we're talking about a legal case here. I'm sorry, I do have to come in as far as that is concerned. Yes.
Let me just finish, Shivani. Allow me to finish what I was saying.
Yes.
You're talking about the court order. Being an advocate, I can tell you, and we have an advocate on the panel who would also either rebut or attest what I'm saying. That the maximum punishment in any offence. In any offence, maximum punishment is given to somebody who's a repeat offender in the eyes of the court of law. In this case, maximum punishment has been inflicted upon a parliamentarian, knowing very well what the consequences will be.
But didn't the court order precisely say this, that Rahul Gandhi is a repeat offender? Giving the example of the Supreme Court case where he had to apologize unconditionally. The court exactly made that argument.
Repeat offender means, Shivani, in terms of being convicted. Repeat offender doesn't mean, in case of Supreme Court apology, it was inadvertent misquoting of the Supreme Court.
In any case, I am not here to speak on behalf of the court. I'm just saying, let's talk about this issue. The Adani issue is separate. Let's not confuse the court conviction with the Adani issue, but you can talk about the Adani issue separately. I'll give you time. One second. Mahima, one second. I want to quickly go across to Tuhin Sinha also. Why is it that the BJP also is commenting on each and every aspect of what the Congress party is doing? Today you're commenting about how many people accompany Rahul Gandhi. Earlier you were saying there is some conspiracy within the Congress party to keep Rahul Gandhi out. You're also giving it a lot of mirch masala, no, every day.
Good evening, Shivani. Good evening, everybody. I think with his contrived gimmicks today, Rahul Gandhi has proved that he is the biggest coward in the country. After demonizing all the institutions of this country, be it the judiciary. In fact, as recently as 2 weeks ago, Mr. Kharge had commented that the judiciary had been under pressure to give this judgment. Today, he had no option but to go and file a plea, which he could have anyway done without any brouhaha. Which only shows that he has no support for the issue within the country, because in the last 2 weeks they tried to drum up support. They have absolutely no support. And in such occasions, when you go with a crowd on an occasion where his presence was not even required, it is clearly to intimidate the judiciary.
So, intimidate, isn't that a bit of a jump? Whether this is for political optics, so be it. Political parties cannot be criticized for political optics. But how can you jump the gun to such an extent and claim this is to intimidate the judiciary? I don't think judiciary in India is intimidated like this.
For what, Shivani? Political optics for what? At the end of the day, he should realize that he has hurt the sentiments of lakhs of people in the country who have that surname. So
no, he's fighting that case. That's also his right. You may say that, but he has stages of legal appeals left.
To abuse anybody.
How
he has
about
a right to go against the legacy of his own grandmother who had praised Veer Savarkar.
Okay, let's not get into Savarkar. Mahima, very quickly. Mahima, very quickly, please respond to the show today.
How about Khushbu Sundar, who had made similar comments, in fact, very identical in 2020? What would the BJP spokesperson say to that? The tweet is very much on the record. Let him comment on that. If he's talking about the sentiments of the community. And let me just say, and let me take you to the state of Haryana for a moment, where the BJP's, love for judiciary is very visible. When the CM says that ek judge ka matha thoda kharab hai, usko theek kar denge, just today morning, that's the headline. And let me also just say that in the very state of Haryana, Ram Rahim's trial was being undertaken. And his supporters came around the court. The very Ram Rahim who's brought out on paroles nearing every election in the state of Haryana.
Okay, Tuhin, please respond 30 seconds.
This is precisely where the current Congress is impossible. Instead of drilling sense into Rahul Gandhi, this is not the first defamation case. He's facing 6 other defamation cases. And the defamation cases are only going to pile up if people like you encourage him with such behavior.
Okay, can I just quickly go across to our political expert joining us on the show? One second. Ajay Umat, I want to come to you. And the central issue we've been debating for quite some time since, his conviction happened and since his disqualification happened is just how does this help the Congress party? Do you believe there's a sense emerging that the Congress not only is going to use this politically, of course, but that they are quite keen to project Rahul as their leader? During recent state elections, for example, we've seen they don't want to be seen to be doing that. But as far as 2024 is concerned, do you believe the Congress is going to do that? And how is that strategy, if true, is going to pan out for them?
Absolutely. Congress party is using Rahul Gandhi as their poster boy and they are playing sympathy card. Today also, as one of the panelists has rightly said that, if Rahul Gandhi would not have come here, because convict is not supposed to come to a sessions court or high court. They are advocate. If you sign a wakalatnama, they could have done it. But I think this episode has started from Kolar in Karnataka.
Yes.
Rahul Gandhi and Congress party wants to play a victim card. They had a plan to go to that Lajpur jail also, though they did not get permission. Otherwise, yesterday night, Congress people were planning to have a march to go to Lajpur jail in Surat also. and it was nothing but photo opportunity and all such things. And the Congress party is organizing a big rally in Gujarat on 23rd of April, either in Ahmedabad or in Surat, just to play their victim card. So absolutely, this is nothing but politics and political optics. I think otherwise Rahul Gandhi would not have brought Priyanka Gandhi and 3 Congress Chief Minister and Mallikarjun Kharge. There was no point bringing them, because we all knew this is a case where, less than 3 years punishment given by a magisterial court, you will simply, within a fraction of minute, you are going to get bail, and the matter would be heard on a given date by a judge, which has happened in this case.
No, but the reason, Mahima ji, I'll give you time. Just 1 second. Uma ji, the reason I asked, I'll give you time.
There's a reason. Let me please come in here, because you see, the panelist, the respected panelist, has just said not supposed to go to the court. What is he talking about? We, day in, day out, we see that the appellants, the petitioners' families, the defendants' families, for the simple reason, every day you go to the court, you'll see there are more supporters of family of accused in the court than there are, litigants. And
really? This many?
Supposed to.
Are you seriously saying that there are 3 chief ministers who accompany other convicts? Convicts is the right term here, by the way. He's not accused anymore.
Accused. I said, okay, in this case, the convict is the strongest voice of opposition in the country.
Fair enough.
I'm talking about normal cases. And Shivani, in this case, mind you, why is it bound to be acquitted by the higher court? There are severe bypasses. There's a bypass of Section 202. There's a bypass of Section 199 of CRPC. So you see, it's a very weak, very lame
Fair
judgment.
enough. I'm not getting into that argument just yet. Mahima, anyways, I said I'm not here to debate what the court said is right or wrong. He is fighting his case, that is fine. But I think the other advocate, one second. Mahima, please, you mustn't speak over me. Please, you mustn't speak over me.
What Mr. Umar said, that they're not supposed to come, is very wrong.
I think what he meant is, he can clarify, but what he meant is, in this case, Rahul Gandhi's personal appearance was not required. Am I right, Mr. Umar? That's what you meant.
That's an appellant's call.
Yeah, fair enough. Of course, it's his call.
I meant that only. And I don't want to offend this, Congress party, but in normal case, a convict is not supposed to come to court. His advocate would have...
True.
Again, you're saying not supposed to come.
I am using the word.
Okay, Mahima, let him finish. Mahima, let him finish. You made your point. Yeah.
Even if his advocate would have come to this court, he would have got the same treatment, that, his sentence would be suspended till the final outcome of the court case. That is a clear-cut case.
Okay, 1 second. Mahima ji, not like this, please. I think both of you made your point. Your point also stands. Rahul Gandhi has the right to go if he wants to go. Mr. Umat is just saying he needn't have gone. It's not required in law.
And it's not required in law. But my point was that, he came with Priyanka Gandhi, Mallikarjun Kharge and 3 other chief ministers and thousands of Congress workers.
He didn't come with them. They came for him. He didn't come with them.
That's like potato.
Listen, they all traveled in the same chartered bus from Surat Airport to Surat Airport to...
No, it's not a matter of coincidence. Let's not insult everybody's intelligence here. You are free to do it. But let's not pretend that it's a coincidence that 3 of your chief ministers from 3 different states landed up in Surat at the same time, in the same flight, in the same bus.
Solidarity.
Yeah, of course it is solidarity. Why are you acting so defensive about it?
Shivani, logistics, the same flight suited everybody's convenience. Simple as that.
But why are you being so defensive about the fact that 5 of your top leaders were with Rahul Gandhi?
Solidarity for our leader.
Of course there is solidarity. I asked exactly this question at the very top. We believe you stand with him. Maybe was this show required or not? But anyways, you've answered that. Mr. Alok has been waiting. Alok, you wanted to clarify a few things as well. Please go ahead before I return to the political question.
Absolutely. I just want 2 minutes uninterrupted, because this platform, I would like to clarify certain legal positions. First and foremost, a blatant lie is being propagated across India that this disqualification of Mr. Rahul Gandhi has been directed or has been committed by the central government, whereas the position of law is that as per Lily Thomas judgment of 2013 propounded by Honorable Supreme Court of India, and also as per section 8.3 of RP Act, the moment a person is convicted for 2 years or more than 2 years, he is automatically disqualified, and he continues to remain disqualified. So central government had no role to play in it. It was absolutely the prerogative of, as per the judgment of the Supreme Court and also as per the law, that automatic disqualification continued to remain. There was another provision of section 8 subsection 4 which was inserted, and in that provision it was provided that if this automatic disqualification takes place but the convicted MP MLA files an appeal before the appellate court, then within 3 months and the appeal is admitted, then the disqualification will go and it will be set aside, and he will be resuming his position as an MP or MLA. Now that section 8 subsection 4 was also set aside by Honorable Supreme Court of India in Lok Prahari judgment.
I'm just interrupting you here because we discussed all of this last week, but today what we also have access to is the fact. One second, Alakji, please 1 second, please hold on. I don't want to go back into those arguments about his disqualification. We've discussed that. I want to discuss with you though what his plea is saying today. Of course, his plea is saying that he did not mean all Modis are thieves when he said why all thieves have surname Modi. He stopped only at Narendra Modi, Nirav Modi and Lalit Modi, and therefore his intention was not to harm all other Modis. It's another matter that even somebody like Lalit Modi is threatening to file a case against Rahul Gandhi. So there will be no less trouble for him. The other argument that Rahul Gandhi is making in his appeal is that this person, Purnesh Modi, does not have any locus standi. How much of an argument do you think that is? Because I guess that was something that was looked at the first trials level as itself.
Absolutely, absolutely. This particular argument was dealt by the learned trial court in a detailed manner. And as I said in the beginning, in the detailed judgment of more than 100 pages, the trial court said that no, there is an offence under section 499 and 500 IPC, that is defamation, which is being constituted herein. There is no requirement if he is tarnishing or making imputation which are causing injuries to the reputation of a class belonging to Modis, then also the section 499 very much is constituted. And in this case, the argument that it was meant for few individuals, if we hear that particular speech which he had made, it was not meant for only those 2-3 individuals, but ultimately he made allegations or he injured the reputation of entire.
Okay, so you are saying Purnesh Modi very much has a locus standi here.
Defamation is very much made out.
Okay, yes, Mr. Kamath, you wanted to.
Yes,
Umat,
so
you
far
wanted
as
to come
locus
in.
standi is concerned, that is very much examined entries there.
Yeah, Mr. Umat.
No. Now, the Rahul Gandhi's advocate's argument was that, he mentioned surname and not the community. Not the community. The surname, they said that Lalit Modi is not an OBC. Nirav Modi is not an OBC. They said that, he mentioned Modi as a surname and not as caste. Examples were given. Rusi Modi was Parsi. Sayyid Modi was Muslim. So many such examples were given, and they said that, all Modi surname did not belong to OBC caste. And they said that, Mr. Purnesh Modi is a Mod Vanik community person and is not belonging to OBC community A. And the other thing they said that he is not an infringed party, he is not an aggrieved party. That is what the contents, he is not, Mr. Purnesh Modi is not an aggrieved party. The basic cutting that they had given was, of a Kannada newspaper published in Kolar. So they said that, Purnesh Modi is not an aggrieved party in this case, so there is no locus standi.
Okay.
That is
but
what
even if you mean a surname and not a caste, what about the members who carry that surname? Because I don't think Purnesh Modi is saying that I am an OBC, that's why I am hurt. He's saying my surname is Modi, that's why I am hurt. But in any case, I want to come back to the larger political question. Toyin Sinha, let me take this to you. This suits the BJP, isn't it? If it's Modi versus Rahul. And you would be most happy with this.
Yeah, we don't need to do anything about it. But for all his bluster over Veer Savarkarji in the last few years, we were hoping that at least this time he would show the courage and not file for a stay. He would have gone to jail. But today he has, I hope it would have been an educative experience for him where he would have realized that a petition is nothing more than a legal tool, which so many freedom fighters have filed for. So I hope he realizes and emerges as a more responsible political leader. Rest it is up to, I'm skeptical of lawyers within the Congress party because I think they encourage him to make such statements and live up to it instead of apologizing.
Okay, no, I think he's fighting this case legally. But Mahima, my final question, please answer my question because I only have 30 seconds left. Do you believe that if you continue to harp on Rahul Gandhi as your face, other political parties, the likes of the TMC, maybe the AAP and others that you want to come under the Congress umbrella for a united opposition ahead of 2024 will be wary to do so? The Congress was seeming to veer away from Rahul Gandhi as their only face and maybe present a joint leadership under Mr. Kharge. Now it seems you're going back to harping only about Rahul Gandhi.
Mr. Kharge is the organizational head. That's very evident, Shivani. And Mr. Rahul Gandhi is where he is and he has always been. And I would say that we are all the opposition parties are sailing the same boat. Today, what the BJP is projecting, you were talking about public intellect a moment ago when you were talking to me earlier. You were talking about the public intellect, public intelligence, and let me just say that Purnesh Modi's petition in Gujarat, the public very well understands where has it come from. So the opposition parties, whether it is the Aam Aadmi Party or TMC or the Congress or the JDU, we are all sailing the same boat. We are all targeted by the BJP. The BJP is acting as if they are the only, nationalist patriots in this country, and everybody else is an anti-national. And I think the public intelligence is very well equipped to decipher right from wrong there.
All right, we'll see how this plays out. I do thank all of our guests for joining us. Whether this strategy eventually works for the Congress party or could it create complications ahead of 2024? Moving on, the second big story we're